Got on the road early this morning, leaving from West Virginia. Had the coolest day at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum that exceeded expectations. If you're anywhere near the area, we definitely recommend you check that out. We were not sure of the timing of the tour, so we ended up doing two tours while we waited for. We ended up doing a tour while we waited for the tour we wanted to start.
I'm glad we did that tour. That was like creepy.
It was really cool.
They have like tours of like the main hospital, and there's like 4 floors, and there's like paranormal tours you can do. And the one we did that was like an hour long was they had a building for like the criminally insane members, I guess, inmates. And that was spooky.
It was really neat.
The whole place is creepy, but
it was a really cool experience. So got back to the campground, had an early dinner, watched a movie, and got up early this morning to head north the rest of the way to Gettysburg.
So yeah, we're like an hour away from Gettysburg. We're going to be there for 3 days. Looking forward to visiting all the Civil War monuments.
We had budgeted time to figure out exactly what we were doing in Gettysburg over the last 2 days, and we had absolutely no internet, so we did not do that.
So we're going into Gettysburg kind of blind.
That is true. We did manage to book a couple more nights for after Gettysburg.
Including our first Harvest Host stop.
Woo!
It's a brewery. That should be fun.
And I've got my desk and paper and pen and a laptop. And I've been planning on next week's adventures. We had a general idea where we were going, but we had absolutely no idea what we were going to do there. So we're trying to figure out all the things we want to do in Shenandoah and use that to plan what side of the park we want to stay on and then narrow down a campground. So nothing like wait till the last minute.
Yeah. We also decided, like 2 hours ago, as we started driving, we're going to spend a little bit more time up north.
I guess, in hindsight, instead of picking what we're doing in Shenandoah in a week from now, I could have been picking what we're doing in Gettysburg, like, today.
Yeah, but...
and tomorrow and the next day.
I think there's value in... And I don't want to diminish what's in Gettysburg, but, like, there's a lot to see in Gettysburg, but it's like, it's a very concentrated, area. It's not like when we were in Great Smoky Mountains Park, where it's not spread out, 30 miles apart and stuff like that. Yeah. And the place we're staying at in Gettysburg, we're staying at Artillery Ridge, which is, it's not inside the national park, but it's like right on the edge. It's so close to all the historic sites in Gettysburg. There's actually a walking trail, so you can walk from the campground directly into all the battlefields and stuff like that. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
I'm excited about that. That is one big difference for us with traveling during COVID-19. We were actually okay when we had to scrap all the kind of touristy items. Yeah. It's different, and I would have liked to do more of those things that we'll miss this trip. But
or at least had that as an option. If we wanted to.
Yeah, but the biggest thing that's kind of a bummer is some of the history things we really wanted to do. Yeah. We're either going to do, but we'll be able to see all of the stuff that's there, or won't be able to go at all. So we're not sure what we won't have access to in Gettysburg. We want to go to Monticello next week, and we're not sure. I was reading the website a little bit. They are reopened, but things are different. So not really sure what parts of the experience we're missing.
Yeah. It'll be the same. After Gettysburg, we're going up to Watkins Glen, New York, and then from there we're going to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls will be the same.
One thing that's been a learning opportunity for us is not planning has actually worked out really well. We've not had any challenges by not planning anything. The only thing we found is that when we're in New York, lots of things were sold out, so we were a little bit limited in New York, and it worked okay. We paid all the money, I'm sure, but I think that's probably the going rate right now in this season. Elliot actually picked out a place we're going after Niagara Falls. We're really excited to stay a few days in the Adirondacks, but we couldn't stay anymore. Yeah. It's 4th of July weekend, and when we were realizing we're planning last minute, we weren't thinking we're planning last minute, and 4th of July is on a Saturday, and everybody's excited to get out of the house and go camping. So there's like nothing available for 4th of July at all. So actually our first night in a Harvest Host is on the 4th of July. And Colby really wanted to go in a pool. We haven't been in a single pool this trip, and Colby is dying to go in a pool. And apparently, this Moose Hillock has the best pool in the Northeast of any campground.
Oh, that's the Tropically one, right?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Or is it a pirate? I don't know. But apparently it's the best one in the Northeast. So I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, right.
Today we managed a new record with breakdown.
Yeah.
We had no sewer, so that made it faster.
Yeah. It was quick though.
And we didn't put any stabilizers on since we were only there overnight.
We felt that though.
Yes, we felt those.
You couldn't even sneeze without rocking the camper.
But I think we were, from the time we woke up to the time we were burning gas, including like getting ready and everyone brushing their teeth and everyone having breakfast, I think it was less than an hour.
Yeah.
Not so shabby.
I think that probably took the longest was emptying the water filter. I don't know if you're supposed to empty those. I think it's weird to like leave water sitting in there. I don't know. Maybe it's totally fine because we're just gonna fill it up again later. But
I think
plus
you
they
have
have
to
water.
empty it a little bit because if you tilt it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of the weight too, and I don't want to like splash water all over the storage inside.
So if we dump the water, we have to remember to close it when we get to the next place so that it isn't leaking everywhere.
Is that so? On the because we've never filled the water to capacity. We always keep some water in there.
Uh-huh.
There's a blue hose right next to the white pull handle. Is that like the overflow?
Yes.
Okay, so you, like when you see water coming out of that, you know you're full.
Yeah, or so that if you're driving
If it
and sloshing,
sloshes, it's like a spill.
Yeah.
Overflow, spillage.
You got it. We are very lucky that the 31MB group on Facebook for people who have the same model rig we do is like the greatest, most knowledgeable group of people ever.
Yes. It's like the online encyclopedia for 31 MBs.
Yes, they regularly answer questions I didn't know I had.
If you've broken something or want to repair something or replace something or do whatever to it, somebody's done it before.
Yes.
So that's a good group.
I laughed last night because somebody asked a question about where to put the toilet paper holder, and there was like 40 comments answering them, and then I thought that was especially funny because that was probably one of the hardest decisions so far.
Yeah, we ended up not putting it anywhere. We ended up getting a freestanding one. And if anybody needs one, we have like 3. So
suction cup, the drill, and the adhesive. And ended up using none of them. We did at least find a stand-up one that has extra toilet paper and it's heavy enough on the base that it doesn't require moving.
Yeah, you can fit other than the roll that you're using, you can fit 3 more on there, 4 more. So
I was going to say that with us moving every 3 days or so on average for the trip, it's really important that we don't have a lot to put up and take down. But the honest answer is even when we're going for a weekend, I don't know if it's laziness or efficiency, but I don't like a lot of things that have to move. So even our decorations and stuff, if it doesn't stay on while we travel, it doesn't go in the camper.
I did do something extremely romantic the other day. Everyone watching's like, what was it? Flowers, chocolate? Nah.
Nope.
Good RV toilet paper. I was in Walmart. Not that we have bad toilet paper now, but it's not the same.
If you have an RV, you know there's regular RV toilet paper, and there's the one brand that doesn't feel awful.
Yeah. It's
they don't always have it.
It's like bougie RV toilet paper.
Bougie RV toilet paper.
The whole COVID toilet paper phenomenon is I think it's almost over with. People are starting to relax on that. So
that was one of the scariest things about planning a road trip in an RV during COVID was during the toilet paper scare. I'm like, well, not only do I need toilet paper, but I can't just use any toilet paper.
Stick to state parks with a lot of moss.
I guess so. Got a call yesterday from the campground we're checking into tonight, and they were super, super friendly. They were giving us an update on the check-in procedures for COVID, and it's you prepay and it's pre-checked in, and they told us where to grab our packet and everything, including our free s'mores kit. And it was
firewood bundle.
And I was definitely laughing, oh, we're gonna get a free s'mores kit. We have to make s'mores. Only we have. Ooh, what?
Got nose tickle. Sorry.
We have tons of s'more kits and still have not made a single s'more.
campfire.
So now we will have to, one way or the other, make a s'more.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
with our free s'mores kit.
That's one thing we haven't really done a lot. I don't know why it's just like hasn't worked out. I usually like spending the evenings like sitting outside, playing guitar or something like that. And just I don't know, it hasn't worked out. We've either gotten back hiking late or wanted to go out for a like after dinner hike, and
or it was raining in the evening.
Raining, yeah.
So we got into Gettysburg yesterday. We got to the campground just after lunchtime, had some lunch after we got set up, and then because the visitor center and everything is closed for COVID-19, we ended up buying an app for like $7 that was similar to the official Gettysburg auto tour, but a little more in depth, and it was awesome. If you're in the area, even if we came back and the visitor center was open, it was well worth the $7. Took you on a really extensive tour of most of the sights and sounds in Gettysburg. These metal straws are super loud. And it was fantastic. It did hit all the stops that are on the official Gettysburg auto tour, but it had really extensive commentary and history and lots of sites that we never would have even noticed, honestly, if we weren't listening to the tour. So I loved it. It took about probably 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. We only got out of the car a couple times to check things out. We figured we'd be coming back today to the things we wanted to see more. But even just getting out of the car once or twice, just driving through everything and pulling over to listen took about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we had Fred with us. The only thing we weren't able to do with the dog was the cemetery.
Yeah,
So,
dogs are allowed to walk all the grounds in Gettysburg, all like the national park areas, except the cemeteries, which honestly, like, you don't want to.
Sounds fair.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start there this morning, and then we saved some places that we wanted to check out a little bit more after yesterday. So we figured we'd start the morning in the cemetery and then work our way around to some of the other places that we wanted to explore more from yesterday. The only thing that was a bummer yesterday, besides the visitor center being closed, all the observation towers are also closed, and that was pretty neat. So our campground is in like the best location ever. We are getting kind of a mid-morning start. We had a late breakfast.
Well, we just
maybe
left,
a half a mile away from the visitor center, so it's
just
fantastic.
left our campground, and I think like right now we're technically in the park.
The Welcome to Gettysburg National Military Park sign is right here.
No, really long drive.
So we figured we'd see the cemetery first, and if we need to come back for lunch after that, or if we need to come back to decompress, I know it's kind of an emotional thing, that we can do that and come see the rest later on. Okay.